What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Scrub Cat, welcoming you to our next deck profile here on the channel. Today I've got Chris here with his Adamancipator Super Heavy deck. This was requested in the comments of one of our last videos, so I'm gonna let him go ahead and jump right on into today's deck profile. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Super Heavy Adamancipator. Went 4-0 tonight. It's a lot of fun. We'll just start right into it. We've got 3 Soul Piercer, best searcher of the deck. Was running 2, just put the 3rd in tonight. Just help with consistency a lot.
Did that make a difference at all?
It felt like it did. Hands where I open it and I can search a different one of the equips off of the low scale usually help a lot. Just give you a lot more bodies to work with. Other starters, 3 Bike, 3 Wakashi. I mean, they're one card, do it all. You can see anything else in your hand as long as you have one of these. You feel like you're playing. 2 of the Big Ben key, the low scale. If you open it, you can't Wakashi as well. So just like to have the 2. I've actually had the second one come up for follow-up as well, so wouldn't change that. One ofs, the 1 scale, which is mandatory for the combo. The 1 Peacemaker, same thing. This to bring this out, bring back Soul Piercer, pretty standard. The weird ones I've been kind of fiddling around with are the 1 Wagon, the Soul Claw, and the Gaia Booster. Wagon's nice because he can grab these 2 later on, so they give you more bodies to work with. Level 4s are always nice, going to Synchro 8s. We overlay into some stuff, so I'll show you that. And then this is actually nice because we do play Cupid Pitch, so having a free level 2 non-tuner is just, that's searchable, is pretty nice to set those combos up. And then the 1 Therion King. You play the Genius, so might as well search it. Pretty solid card. And then the Adamancipator engine. I've been kind of back and forth on this, but tonight felt pretty good. We just went 3 ofs on all of the tuners. I was doing 2 Seeker last week, and it felt okay. I played the Ancient Gearbox engine combo before, and it just felt really bricky, a lot of garnets, and I was siding or cut one of these, but I took that stuff out. It was at 39, so I decided to put the 3rd back in. I mean, I saw them a few times, but it's better than having cards that don't do anything at all. But yeah, usually you don't want Seeker in the hand. But they do their things, they swarm the field. If one resolves, the look on your opponent's face 10 seconds later when you have a field full of rocks is usually pretty funny. We did 3 of the Catherine Hidden Gem of the Seafront. You can pitch it for an additional normal summon of an earth or a water. It doesn't have to be a rock, which a lot of people think it is. So you can normal summon Quackymare Guardian for like a negate, pitch this, and then normally go Soul Piercer and just play like normal, and just not be afraid of neighbor droll. So really fantastic card, another level 2 that helps you get the Cupid Pitch as well. The most standard other rocks are the Quackymare Supplier, and then I only played the 2 Guardian. He's searchable, and there's a lot of times where I would brick on drawing him or multiples. So just knowing that they're in there so you can hit them off excavations can be crucial. My last round, whenever Nate posts his videos, you'll see my board was kind of subpar. I had a couple hand traps to survive, and then one of the cards left on my field was an Analyzer, and they let that resolve. I was able to bring back I'll summon a Guardian, and then they were instantly like, oh, well, that's actually kind of scary now. So yeah, solid card, helps you through hand traps, especially Nib and stuff like that. Definitely need to play it in the rock deck. And then hand traps, we did 2 Ash, 3 Droll. Droll, I feel like you just have to have in this format right now. Too many
It's so
decks.
good. It hits almost every deck. I feel like. You get hit with that and you can't stop it.
The runic decks are crazy, you know, trying to draw 6 cards on your turn, draw even more on their turn, so being able to just tell them no to all of that is great. Ash just covers a lot of bases. Lab is a really hard matchup with this, especially because we can't play Spell or Trap Hate in the form of Spell or Traps. I actually really don't play any at all besides Dragite. So yeah, Lab is really tough. We need the Ash Blossoms. And then the last card is the 1 Hopier. It's searchable off the Cupid Pitch. You can do a lot of really silly things with this. definitely won me my first game, round 2 against Black Wings. Was able to summon this, go into a synchro, and wipe a board, and pretty good. They usually don't see that part coming. They forget you searched it or forget what it does, so when you resolve it, they're like, oh, well, I guess that's a wrap. That's it for the main deck, 40 cards, a lot of fun.
Is there anything you would change out of the main deck? Happy you added that third Seeker back in?
That, I mean, I could kind of take that or leave it. There was a game tonight where I opened 2, and I mean, having the second one because the first got stopped and outed, I guess the follow-up was nice. The first one I whiffed on and had to pass, which happens with this deck. But the second one hit, and from there we snowballed and, you know, stole the game. So it's kind of tough to say. But I don't know what else I would swap it with for, like, you know, a different 40th card. It's not like we're going over and have a little bit more wiggle room. So it felt all right. For the extra deck, like I said, Hopier is playing Cupid Pitch. Just does a little bit of burn, searches an interruption, and then helps you just continue to keep playing. Usually I'll go down to a level 2 and then just use this and my other level 4s to go into like Raptite or something and get that engine rolling. Synchro 6s, we play the 1 Coral Dragon. I always thought this card was kind of bad in the deck for the longest time. I decided to give it a shot. I saw a couple builds playing it, and I mean, it's phenomenal. Being able to pop a card, the draw is always nice. Not to mention, it's a little weird with it being a tuner. I'm not used to that, so sometimes I'll be looking at my board and be like, oh, well, I can't necessarily go for that play yet, so we gotta finagle. But the pop, the draw, they're really good. Definitely won me games tonight, drew me into clutch stuff. Double Raptite, had somebody kind of thrown off by this, even though they knew I was playing this deck as a whole. They were not expecting the second one. I feel like you just have to have it for follow-up. It's a huge booty, decent attack, plus it keeps bringing guys out of deck. And this one can summon the tuners, whereas the tuners can't summon each other. So this just helps swarm the field, get a lot of bodies on board, and keep your engine rolling. And then Synchro 8s, we did the 1 Dragite. There are times I wish I had a second, especially I'm not playing the blue water rock that draws. If that's in the grave with like the water synchro, you can put them each back on top. So you can like stack Dragite that way back. Didn't play that. There were times where it did get outed and I didn't have like other ways to clear the board, but we kind of just had to try to push with the deck's engine, and thankfully it was enough tonight. But the non-targeting bounce, actually getting to resolve that is so broken, and a lot of people will just agree to the effect and then not realize, even though I explain it, that it's non-targeting, and by the time I'm telling you what cards are getting bounced, they try to chain, and I'm like, you can't. But yeah, great card to clear field, especially back row, because we struggle. The 1 Savage, pretty self-explanatory, just a great Omni Negate. The 1 Excel, not necessarily crucial for the combo anymore, but it's definitely nice to have. A part of this deck, you're trying to kind of just vomit as many synchro monsters into the grave as possible for the Cupid Pitch line, which you'll see in a second. And then the last rank 8 would be the Tilting Entrainment. Brings back Wakashi, just helps you get bodies on field. Another synchro body to just make and link off. And then Synchro 10s, we got Baron. Self-explanatory, probably wouldn't play the deck, honestly, if Baron wasn't a card. But she's absurd. Obviously, wins games by herself. And then the Satellite Warrior, which is our Cupid Pitch / Hopier target. So if you have like your Savage Dragon that you've already used a negate on, or like Dragite, you can Hopier target it, special, and synchro into this on the opponent's turn. I was able to tonight pop 5 cards on my opponent's field and gain 5,000 attack permanently. So
that's just gross.
It is just gross. It's super silly, and it's probably not necessary to play, but I really like having it. I like having it with the Cupid Pitch Hopier combo because it's searchable to get to the Hopier, and it burns in the process, so it's just a nice kind of security blanket to have when that time is ticking low. That's it for the synchros. It is, mainly quote-unquote a rock deck, so play the 1 Gallant. Even if you don't see your super heavy or your Adamancipators, any of the level 4 super heavies after you pen summon or whatever it is. You can just go into Gallant, get that whole engine rolling, get you more tuners. And then one Baguska. Put this in last second over Zeus. Never really found myself in positions where I was needing to make Zeus at least game 1. But I am afraid of Droll and honestly just kind of bricking. So this was really good against Flutonite. And I don't think that guy had ever seen the card, so him not knowing what Baguska did was even better. He still outed it the first time I summoned it, but it definitely won me that game. Game 3 going first, and I just set up some scales, some follow-up, and then sat on Baguska, and then just killed on the next turn. And then the links, the Genius, it's just for the combo, search the Regulus, pretty solid. The one Apo, again, self-explanatory, just free negates. Usually we're making her for 3. There's times you can go for 4, but you don't ever really need it. And then we did one Saryuja. I also was on the fence about this over Zeus. But there are times where your Adamancipators will get a lot of rocks on the board and they still don't always do something. So being able to just throw them all away into a free draw 4 and dig for that super heavy engine to get that actually rolling is pretty nice. And then we do side the spell canceller, so it's for that as well for games 2 and 3 depending.
And you're saying you might have been missing that second Dragite. What would you be putting in instead? What would you take out?
Honestly, it would be a toss-up for, well, probably the Saryuja. I mean, there have been times where making it in a desperate situation did draw me to like a bike or something that I needed to keep going. So it's hard to say that like I'd want to cut it. But like when they out your Dragite, or if they have a way to get rid of it and establish a board, it can be kind of tough to clear stuff. Especially because you burn through like 99% of your extra deck in the combo. So a second one would just help, but I don't know if it's necessarily worth it with this engine and all the other powerful synchros you can play.
Okay. Well, I do see something from the extra deck in that side deck, so let's go ahead and jump into that real quick.
So side deck, we do side the one Zeus. We have a lot of like Mekenko and stuff here, and those cards are actually really hard to out sometimes if they get established, at least through battle and like card destruction. So there's definitely been times where I've been getting cooked by them and sat here just like, man, I don't even care about taking the battle damage. I just really wish I could overlay into a Zeus right now. So I do still want access to it. I just don't think I need it in the main going first. I mean, the typical combo will end on like 3 Omni Negates, Apple for 3, and like the Hoppier Interruption. So there's never a time where like, yeah, I'm sticking on the field to even go into this unless you're getting stopped. But I'm sure there'll be a time where I'm like, dang, I wish I had it game 1, but so far I haven't really missed it. Beside the one spell canceller, I feel like if you can play it, there's no reason not to at all. It is so broken. Being able to tell Runics just, you can't play the game.
And there are a lot of Runic players.
There are a lot of Runic players in general and a lot of Runic players here. So yeah, this card's absurd. I didn't summon it all tonight. Didn't necessarily get to a point where I needed to or had the opportunity. I did play a Runic player tonight, but we never got to go to game 3. If I did, because I won that roll, I probably would have sided this in then. We do 3 Gimisiel for the Kaijus. Thought about playing other ones, but this one just seemed like it's fine. Small, easy to get rid of. It puts a water engrave for Dragite, which comes up. Can be sometimes hard to do. And then a couple more hand traps. We did 2 Veiler, 2 Ogre, 2 Nib, and then the 3rd Ash.
Can somebody in the comments section donate this guy some effect veilers that aren't gonna hurt my eyes?
No, donate a 3rd platinum or effect veiler because I only have 2. I would be playing 3 if I had a 3rd. I think they're beautiful.
All right. Hit us up in the comment section. Get one of those mailed to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty standard. I was maining Nibs before and then siding the Ashes. I swapped those out tonight. That actually was, I felt like a really crucial change. Having Ash in the main was just so good. A lot of decks either just don't play into Nib or their deck just absolutely can play around it. So Having it for the decks that can't, knowing it's there is nice. It's searchable with Gallant. But I felt like Ash was more important in the main. And then I played the 2 Magna, 1 Druis. I mean, it's for tier. There's a few tier players here. For branded as well. I still don't want to get gimmick puppet locked, even though I used to do that stuff.
I was gonna say, you've done that to me so many times.
Yeah, on the channel, I think. Yeah, I mean, they're solid. I didn't need them at all tonight. Last week, I definitely played against our buddy Ethan, who's a huge tier fan, and they were helpful then, so I don't know if I would change them. Just didn't happen to need them tonight, which is probably a good thing. But I don't know if I'm concrete on the side deck. This is probably what I'm playing for Nats, but...
Don't give away the secret sauce just yet.
I'm not popular enough for people to care. But I mean, the main deck feels fine. If I was gonna tweak anything, it'd be the side deck. Probably maybe some like Arch Phoenix Centrics or something like that, because Skill Drain is a heck of a card. But no, the deck feels really good. It's a lot of fun. Maybe not as consistent as pure Super Heavy Samurai, but I feel like it's got a slightly higher ceiling. And
I feel like it's more fun.
It is a lot more fun for sure. So.
All right, well, thank you, Chris, for bringing us your Super Heavy Samurai Adamancipator deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell on the way out the door, because all your support is greatly appreciated. But that is all we got for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned. We will have some live duels either coming up right after this deck profile or prior to, so you can see those, and you can see all those combos that he talked about in action. But that's all I've got for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Nate from the Scrub Academy, signing out for now. Peace out. Woo.